Hey, it's Domain Dave, cheapwinefighter.com, with another wine review for a value-priced wine that we wrote up on the cheapwinefighter.com website, and now we got the microphone plugged in, and we're ready to go. And this is a wine from Costco. It is a $12.99 wine. It's the Acacia Carneros Pinot Noir 2020. Acacia is a winery, was a winery and vineyards in the Carneros region. Carneros is both in southern Napa and southeastern Sonoma, though most of the vineyards are in the Napa side. And they kind of border the San Pablo Bay, which is the bay east of Oakland. And that's the bay that allows cool air to come in kind of inland in California, and it also has all these all these valleys and river valleys that go and keep Clarksburg and Lodi. It keeps those places cool enough that they can support wine too, or vineyards, even though they're fairly east. So Carneros has been a premier area for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay for a very long time, and plus, you get to put the Napa name on things, which is always worth $10-15 on the label. So what do we got here? Acacia has been owned by a bunch of different people. It was owned by Diageo, which is a big wine group. They're really big on spirits. If you have a bottle of some kind of spirit in your house, you probably own, or a couple of them, you probably own one of them theirs. They're huge. And they sold either part or all their wine to Treasury Wine Estaes, which is out of Australia. But they have a really good U.S. wine portfolio. But the Treasury only bought the brand name and whatever stock of wines Acacia had, and then Diageo sold the vineyard and the wine maker facility off someplace else, and that was in 2016. Now we're getting technical here, but Treasury is trying to get out of the value price wine business. They want to sell wines, concentrated wines that are over $20, which would be Acacia. I mean, this is a wine that sells for $12.99 at Costco, but it's around $20 everywhere else, and I've seen it as high as $35. I mean, a good producer making a Carneros Pinot Noir can get a good price. So what's going on with this? Because Acacia is no longer on Treasury Wine Estates brand list, and 2020 is the last release, which is kind of old for a wine. There's no particular reason for it to be that old. Have 4 years of age on it. So what's going on with this brand? I mean, it's not the same. It no longer has its vineyard and its winemaking facilities, which means that the whoever was making the wine before didn't go along. There's no place for for a winemaker to go. But Treasury has a ton of really great vineyards. They own Dow. They own a bunch of really good wineries. So they can still make good wine. It's not going to be the same. And I'm going to take a sip of this wine and we'll talk about it. One thing to know, that the alcohol content is 14.7 for a Pinot Noir. That's kind of pushing it for a Cabernet Sauvignon. So it's going to be a little hot. I'm not really getting it too much on the palate, but it's there. And it's a really good wine. I mean, it's a well-made wine. It's got really good length. I say this every time. Whenever you talk to a winemaker out of Burgundy, you tell them the wine's got great acidity and great length, and they're so happy because that's what they want. And this wine has great length and great acidity because most people who are making Pinot Noirs in California, most but not all, are really doing the Burgundian style. And it works here. This is at $12.99. This is a wine that probably in the past was going for twice the price. It is a, Value price Pinot Noir has gotten a lot better, but it's a different thing than more expensive Pinot Noir. And it's usually not as complicated. And this one's got some complications to it, which is interesting. I think the alcohol kind of overpowers it a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, I took another sip. Yeah, this is a good one. $12.99 is a steal at Costco. I mean, if you know somebody who's got a card, or you go there and you want a Pinot Noir, and you want a Pinot Noir that you only want to pay $12.99 for, but you want it to taste like it might be closer to $20-25, well, this is it. So there you go. That's it for me, Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. Like us where you like your podcasts. As always, push buttons or whatever. And I've got more coming up. We do it every 3 times a week. So adios, keep it cheap, and I'll be talking to you in a little bit, and stay cool.